Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Friday the 24th of January 2020. We're almost nearing the end of the first month of 2020. I love it. I kind of feel like I'm living in the future a little bit with 2020. Let's have a look at what these cards want us to know for today and what the energy is going to be about. So let's give them a bit of a shuffle. Okay, so I'm going to choose 3 cards. Usually they give us a theme for the day. Sometimes it's morning, afternoon, evening, but it usually gives a general indication of what the day is about. Okay, so the Tower has shown up a lot lately, and the Tower is about really changing your life around. Okay, so yeah, and changing your life around has been a theme that's come up quite a lot lately. So today that is still there, and it's something that's still an opportunity. It looks very dramatic, but changing your life can be a very positive thing. It doesn't have to be a disaster. Okay, so first we've got the Knight of Chalices. Knight of Chalices is a court card. He's a knight, so he's right in the middle. The page is a little bit below him in experience when it comes to the element of cups, which has to do with art and creativity and spirituality and love. And then the king is a little bit above him. He controls this element. The knight is still trying to fight his way through it. He's still struggling. It's like someone struggling to accept their destiny in a certain way. There was a film in the 90s with Kirstie Alley where she played a waitress and she had these big dreams, and she was in an accident and she ended up in a wheelchair, and she really just gave up because all her hopes and dreams had died. And there was this amazing redemption story of building kind of a new life that she never expected, and she was really happy. And so that's what the knight is doing. He's trying to control the element of water. He's trying to find himself, or he's trying to find someone to love, or he's trying to love himself, or to accept his solitude, whatever it may be. So today there's a sense of inner turmoil and something that's within you that you feel is just out of your grasp. It's out of your reach. And then we have one of the most explosive towers that I've ever seen. I mean, the lightning really strikes, everything's burning. 2 people are really falling to their death. So the negative aspect of this is really, really amplified. And we've got windows here with the fire coming out of the windows even. So the whole thing is engulfed and is going to shatter and come down. Now, the Tower can be seen in 2 ways. A negative situation in your life has a huge breaking point. So let's say you're in a terrible business and there's a whistleblower, and the whistleblower goes to the press and the whole business is exposed. The head of the company go flying because they've really been abusing their employees and really not following the rules. Then it's a good thing that that structure, that business is going bust and blowing up because it's not helping other people. But in this case, so it could be something like that. In this case, it could also be something good in your life that you have blowing up. It's definite change. It's a structure that's been in your life for a while that is coming apart. So let's see what it all means together. The final card is the 8 of Swords. Oh, and I love this version of it. The 8, I love how they've drawn this. The 8 of Swords, they've drawn just this beautiful, wonderful woman with this beautiful gown, and they've tied her to a tree, and they've blindfolded her. So it looks more like a kidnapping, and the the robbers have left their kind of calling card. Here, we robbed her, and these are the swords. And, you know, the noble lords and ladies come and find her, and everything's hunky-dory. So it's about being rescued, not seeing what's going on, having other people penetrate you in terms of their thinking and their will. You know, the sword is a phallus, isn't it? I mean, it's a weapon. It's something that can pierce and stab and slice and chop and do all these things. And it can also penetrate. And that's why it's a male symbol. It has to do with the element of air, and it has to do with other people penetrating someone else and the power shifting. So she's disempowered, and which is what I find so stupid about our society, is that the person being penetrated is seen as having less value as the person doing the penetration, which is so stupid. I think our culture is just so idiotic because it fails to see that the gesture of opening yourself up to be penetrated, like either physically or mentally or spiritually or whatever, that is the ultimate human expression of love, because you're completely opening yourself up to someone else. And if it's positive, like you're opening yourself up spiritually, that's when you can really download messages, and it's a positive thing. In this case, it's a negative thing. It's, okay, let's rob the rich lady, let's scare all the lords and ladies of the land so that they're not so evil to their serfs and they pay them a better wage. And here's our calling card. It's in reverse. So this noble lady, she's not getting kidnapped. Like, there was this famous incident with Princess Anne. I read about this. She got kidnapped and she just refused. She's like, no, I'm not. I won't be kidnapped. And she got out of it. It was so... I read about it and it was hilarious. I mean, obviously kidnapping isn't, but her reaction to it was just so real and entitled. No, I'm not. I'm Princess Anne, so I don't do kidnappings. Bye-bye. So what it means altogether is that we've got a Princess Anne character in you today. So anyone who's trying to do you harm, you see completely clearly, and watch out for a tendency to want to destroy them and their livelihoods and to hurt them emotionally if you see someone coming for you. So if you catch someone in a lie today, you see someone lying about you, and you catch them red-handed, you can confront them in front of the whole office, prove the lie, and destroy that person emotionally. Okay? So the truth is out and you've been vindicated, but you've just destroyed someone who acted badly. But again, I had to learn this, as a lot of us do. Bad behavior does not a bad person make, and good behavior does not a good person make. Like, you can be a good person but behave badly, and you can be a good person and behave well. It's not as simple as black and white. On the other hand, you see everything clearly. You can get rid of things that are inessential to your life, and you can use that hardness of, think of this noble, regal lady. She's now taken the blindfold off. She's now seen the calling cards. Each one of the swords represents one of the 8 bandits who kidnapped her and brought her all the way out into this dirty forest and ruined her dress. She's taking that blindfold off today, and she is pissed. She's like, okay, I'm going to get all 8 of you. I'm going to whistle and get my army, because I'm the rich lady of the land, and I'm going to take your tower down, bandits. Bye-bye. You're going home, okay? So it's a symbol of destroying evil in your life and destroying this sense of powerlessness and destroying other people power over you, other people to penetrate your mind as such, you know, like being brainwashed. Like if you try and I don't know, if you get some cult leader comes up to you today and tries to brainwash you, it's really just not going to work, because you really see things as they are. And there may be a little bit of anger, resentment, a feeling of sharpness, really being decisive. The sword energy is best used when you use your strength, not to destroy other people, but when you use it to communicate, and when you use the sword, the weapon, as an intellectual tool. So rather than going after other people, I would suggest that you look at the situation, you don't get angry, and you say, well, okay, they're making a point, it's information, I will take that into account without my personal feelings, and I'll make a decision, but I'm not going to. So for instance, she comes up with, I will not negotiate with people who take me hostage, and I'm going to have the bandits taken out. But the point is that don't immediately react to what you see today. Instead, use what you have today, the power, the intellectual power, to focus on something new, some sort of idea that you suddenly see today, and try and ignore the negative stuff and look at the new positive stuff that you're seeing today. And as a formula, this is quite difficult, this reading. So the Knight of Cups is grappling with his feelings. In the center of the read, we have change and transformation and destruction. And here we have absolute clarity and vision, because she's upside down. So you have absolute clarity and vision in your thinking life. Air rules communication, writing, contracts, making deals, making decisions, looking beautiful, creating a beautiful environment, putting people at ease, having an icebreaker at a party, seeing other people's negative behavior and how it affects you. And this is behavior that you haven't noticed up until today, because you've been gaslighted into believing something that now, today, boom, eureka, I see things for what they are. On the other hand, you've got emotions that are full of doubt. So you see something in your life that's really egregious to you. Like you see a person in your life, for instance, who calls you every 3 months and demands money. This is a family member. It's just, that's the only interaction you ever had. It's a parent, they call every 3 months and demand money. And if you give them money, but if you don't, they slam the phone down on you, and that's the only kind of contact you would have. That's not, I mean, I don't need to even say that that's a bad relationship. That's not a wonderful relationship. And if you've been gaslit or gaslighted, I don't know what the term is today, into emotional blackmail, or you've been guilted into something, you're going to see through your feelings and the faulty beliefs that have been tinged with emotion, like, oh, I can't appear on stage because I'm not good enough, so I have to wear all this armor to protect me. And it's the armor that then becomes the fatal flaw. He goes up on stage, he's supposed to look like Romeo, and he's in armor, and he trips all over himself, and it just doesn't work. So if you overcompensate emotionally today, no. What your gift is today is to see your emotional faulty beliefs. Like, for instance, I have no friends and no one likes me, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not pretty enough, or I'm not loved, I'm not lovable, I'm all alone. Any of those negative voices, you see it like an eagle. You're like, there we go, that's a faulty belief. Let's throw it in the towel with the rest of the rubbish and let's blow it up. So instead of being vindictive about other people, and I mentioned this recently, this whole concept of exposing something that you feel like is for the greater good. It's nothing to do with that. It's your anger at being powerless and now retaliating. And today you have the power to retaliate. Instead of doing that, retaliate by clearing out one of your faulty beliefs and stories that you've told yourself about you, your identity, and finally blow that up and come to terms with who you and what you are, and love yourself, or take a thing in your life that's really a thorn in your side and blow it up and say, I have had enough of this. I am getting rid of this bank. They've charged me every day and filled me with promises and all sorts of things, and I've listened to the BS for long enough. They're saying the same things that I heard 2 years ago. Nothing ever changes, and I'm not finished. I'm taking my accounts and I'm going somewhere else. So it's a heavy-duty day in the sense that don't let doubt get you, because that's going to put you on the side of things being destroyed. Think clearly and trust your ideas and your thoughts and what makes sense. And really take action on that, because if you don't, others will. And then you might be on the receiving end of something drastic where someone has kind of beaten you to the punch. So it's important to keep your eyes and ears open, because once you get rid of something like that and you make space, you know, any card could come in there. We could have love, the Lovers, or the Sun, or we could have the Ten of Cups. And that would then create this whole process by listening to your thoughts today and not your doubts and your feelings. That's how you then build a new tower in your life that's even more glorious and actually serves you. So this is about getting your power back by going from powerless to going to powerful. Court card is 1. This is 16. 16 and 1 is 17. And 8 is 25. 2 and 5 is 7. 7 is mind and creativity. So listen to your mind, your thoughts, your common sense, your ideas, reason over emotion today. And it's usually the thought comes first anyway, and then the feeling follows. So make sure that you use today's opportunity of having amazing clarity and presence of mind, where you're able to, like a detective, put a magnifying lens over the aspects of your life that you dislike. You spot one, you're like, okay, boom, and it's gone. And you create a vacuum for something better to come in. Have a wonderful day. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, just click on the Book Reading Now button to order your reading with me, or click on the Shop tab to order your personal reading. I use astrology, tarot, and numerology in my personal readings. To draw up your astrology chart, I need your time of birth as well as your place of birth and date of birth. If you don't have the time of birth, that's not a problem. Order a chart rectification with me. That's a process where I work out your time of birth and then I can draw up your chart. If you have any questions, I can answer them. So please get in touch. If you like the video, hit subscribe and share it online. Have a wonderful day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.